Just looking at the cars in the car park can make you feel like everyone is richer than you. They must have an amazing job, brilliant family life, and they're happy, and I'm not, right? Why is it that everyone seems loaded and we're not? And look, if you feel like this, then you're not alone, but it's damaging us in so many ways. There's always someone with a better car than you, and there is definitely always someone with more money than you. Today, I'm gonna prove to you why you're doing just fine by showing you a story about lies, bad choices, crushing debt, and showing you what it actually means to be rich, all whilst we explore this 2,000-year-old Roman fort and amphitheatre up here in the Hampshire countryside. Let's go. If you're earning £2,200 a month, then you are an above average earner. Now, over in the US, their average salary is a little bit higher than ours, and converted into pounds, they're earning around about £3,300 for the average person. Now, I'm guessing, even for the UK, that's a lot less than you thought. And you probably could be earning that kind of money if you made a few smart moves. On top of that, if you've managed to put any money away into savings at all, then you are doing better than most. Because let's face it, us Brits aren't the best at saving money, especially when we're younger. Only half of everyone that's under 44 right now has more than £1,000 saved. And over 40 million working adults in the UK have less than £100 in savings. And then there are a lot of people that have no savings at all. The fact that younger people don't like saving as much isn't really a surprise here. You've got 63% of Gen Z and 59% of millennials saying they value life experiences over saving cash. And perhaps what's more shocking to me is that 32% of Gen Xers and 17% of baby boomers. Gen Xers are the people that are born between 1960 and 1980, and baby boomers, well, they're a touch older, have no savings at all. Absolutely no savings at all. So I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that if you're earning over £2,200 a month and you have anything in your savings at all, even if you're not earning £2,200 a month and you have some savings, then you are doing better than most of the country. But you see, that doesn't actually stop us feeling less wealthy. So why is it that we actually do feel this way? One of the main reasons that we think this way is that we're wired to think like this. Up here in our brains, social status is something that we all aspire to have in some capacity. Humans have been competing since the beginning of time, just like this 2,000-year-old gate and wall built by the Romans to show their dominance and social status. Now, everyone in this town would have been fighting physically and socially for things like the best housing, the best lovers, the best food, and nothing's really changed except that these days we showcase our social status through technology and gadgets and nice cars. But just like back then, it's all about perception. Now we naturally look upward at everyone and everything, and this is called upward comparison. When I get there, I'm going to be just like them. And we also look down on people as well, and this is called downward comparison. Oh yeah, I am definitely better than those people over there. This is what psychologists call conspicuous consumption. It's basically the urge to buy goods to raise your social status rather than meet your basic needs. And look, I am absolutely no stranger to this at all. I used to buy everything in sight, and I did so in my 20s, and it got me into quite bad debt to the tune of £24,000 on credit cards and personal loans, basically peacocking to keep up with other people. Now, there is some evidence that shows that conspicuous consumption can actually give you a little psychological boost and help you move towards your goals a little bit faster. And that's partly why social media has taken off so much as it has. We're a nosy bunch and we like comparing ourselves to other people. And just like these Roman walls, we build social profiles to show ourselves off to the others around us. But online, these social media algorithms are very, very smart, and they exploit our brain's reward systems and essentially create this constant cycle of novelty and comparison. Now, the system is literally rigged against us. I mean, you see those ads 100 times, eventually you're gonna lose. It's just the way things work. And I'm no stranger to this. I mean, I made a video recently about 9 things that I cut out in 2024. One of them was impulse shopping. And safe to say, I saved quite a lot of money just by putting in a simple rule of waiting 24 hours. But when we looked at all of the costs over the year, it was about 10 grand between me and my partner, which was pretty wild. And I'll leave a link to that in the show notes below if you do want to watch that. And that's the thing, like, we are never going to win this battle. The only way that you can do it is by fighting it off for long enough. But surely there is a way that we can win with what we have. And that's what I want to discuss next. Now, the UK has a bit of a problem with conspicuous consumption, driving people to live way beyond their means. To explain what I mean, I'm going to take two fictional people and I'm going to put them in a real life situation in this very amphitheatre, fighting it out, and I'm going to use cars as the example. Now, on this side we have Matt, and on this side we have Rich. Now, first up we have Matt. He brings home around £2,000 a month. About 4 years ago, he got a 5k bonus from work and he decided he wanted to buy a new car. So he splashed out the 5 grand on a shiny new BMW on a personal contract hire deal. After the deposit, he's looking at paying around £675 a month. Now that the 4 years are up, he's had to give that car back. That's nearly £37,500 down the drain with absolutely nothing to show for it. But for him, the status it brought was worth it. Now, a colleague of Matt's named Rich does the same job for the same pay. He's not as flashy, but he also wanted a car after the bonus drop. Like Matt, he's into BMWs, but Rich opts to take a £5,000 bonus and buy a second-hand BMW. Now, aside from insurance and road tax, the occasional bit of maintenance, Rich doesn't really spend much else on the car. Now, this gives Rich the opportunity to let his money work for him instead of just throwing it away. Rich took £400 of the £675 that Matt's paying every single month and invested it into a simple global index fund, bringing him back 8% on average a year. 4 years later, Rich still has a BMW and he's sitting on a pot of over £22,600 instead of being down by 37.5 grand like Matt is. Now, if Rich kept this up for another 10 years while Matt actually went back out and financed new cars, Rich would have over £123,800. Meanwhile, Matt would have spent over £113,000 on finance payments alone. Now, that's the illusion right there. You saw Rich and Matt's car parked in the car park. You think that Matt was better off all round, he was wealthier, he had a better lifestyle, a better job, when in reality that's not the case. And look, I'm absolutely no saint when it comes to this. The car that you saw in the first frame of this video was actually put on finance initially, and we decided to buy it outright. And even then, it wasn't a brand new car when we did actually finance it in the first place, and the payments were £100 each between me and my partner, so they were more than affordable, but I still got caught up in the social status trap. So the thing is, generally wealthy people aren't actually the ones buying luxury goods and fancy things all of the time. You take Sir Richard Branson or Warren Buffett, for example, and what stands out to you? Now, neither of them are buying expensive, flashy jewelry and designer goods, for example. The wealthy tend to save and invest their money. They buy things that last, and they value life experiences over the material goods. And because of this, we could have actually walked past someone today worth 9 figures or more, and we would have never have realized. And studies have shown that 67% of people who buy luxury goods are worth less than £200,000. So that just goes to show that the rich aren't actually splurging on these luxury items to show off their status. You see, the thing is, the actual things that are worth something in life are usually free. Like, you know, coming to see this Roman fort and amphitheatre in this beautiful Hampshire countryside that's around me. And look, I am no stranger to a little splurge. I do love a little farm shop every now and then. I like my Nike gear, I like my Nike trainers. Like, these are things that I like doing, but you wouldn't catch me dead in a Gucci shirt or a Rolex watch, for example. I'm just happy with my Whoop. The bottom line is that if you're buying expensive things, they're usually funded by expensive debt, or you're spending your last few hundred quid to actually make that happen. And that's the problem that we have. So how do we actually solve this problem and actually grow our own pots of money without feeling like we need to peacock at every single turn in life? The truth is, the longer that we go on without actually stopping these kind of behaviors and checking ourselves, then the worse we're going to end up feeling. Now, comparison really is the thief of joy. And it's easy to feel like you're behind when everyone around you is just showing off all the time. Now, the reason I say this is because if you lined up 1,000 people in that field behind me and gave them all 40 grand and said, do a budget, please, guys, you wouldn't find one single budget that's the same. Now, I could literally make that number 1 million people, even 1 billion people, and not one single person would have a budget that was the same. Which means one thing, that we all value money differently. And so we have to treat it like that as well, because personal finance is personal. Now that £50 that you have saved last month, for example, might be all that you have in the world. So that means that you treat it very, very differently. And there's no right or wrong to that. You know, other people will see it as not a lot of money, and you will, and that is totally okay. And sure, you can change that too. You can go up in levels, and that is what's important to say. What you have to adopt is a growth mindset. You chat to any self-made millionaire, and they'll tell you that they worked their absolute socks off to get there. And maybe they had a bit of luck along the way, but it's the kind of luck that comes from seizing the opportunities that are in front of you and having that growth and that real drive to make something happen. Now, the thing is that I want to ram this home, because most millionaires in this country become millionaires at the age of 52. 52, not in their 20s or their 30s that the Lambo life in Dubai guys on social media will have you believe, in their 50s. So the grass isn't always greener on the other side. It literally comes from hard work. The key part of this story is that if you adopt a growth mindset and worry about the things that you as a person can actually control, not the news, not social media telling you what you should be, you will be better off as a person. And that is so important. And sure, that might not mean a super yacht, but that's fine, right? We just want growth as a person, and really that's all that matters. Investing 10% of your income and continually increasing your income will get you there. But it doesn't mean for 1 second that you are behind. It is just your reality. Now, building wealth is going to take decades, and it's not going to be the weeks or months that social media tells you. So hang on in there. Now, the second one is, if your circles are stagnant, the people that you surround yourself, if you feel like they're not going anywhere, then eventually they're going to end up holding you back, because you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. That's just facts. Now, if you want to go and change things, look at the people that are doing the things that you want to do. Now, I will tell you as an absolute fact, because I help people all the time with this. And the fact is, the person above you, even one level above you, is not going to laugh at you for coming out and asking, you know, some questions about how I get to your level. In fact, they're going to want to help you because they understand what it was like to be in your shoes. And number 3 is be active. What I will say for most successful people out there is that they are ready to put in the hard graft. They understand it's not all sunshine and rainbows 24/7, 365, you know, and super yachts and sunbathing all day on the beach. They understand that a large part of life is putting in the hard graft and then getting the rewards back from it when they do. Now, 4th is possibly the most important one, and I'm absolutely knackered after that walk today. But look, it is the most important one, and that is save and invest your money, and also be smart with it as well, guys. Don't be the guy that splashes out on the expensive car finance, and when you start to earn a little bit more, learn how to invest it, because it really will make that difference. And if you don't know where, then this channel is a great place to start. We also have a social media channel, and I've left you guys a free investing guide in the show notes below. You're going to join a community of over 35,000 like-minded people just like you, learning about money. And if you also want to watch that video that I mentioned earlier, which was the 9 expenses that I cut back in 2024, I literally saved thousands. It should be up on your screen right there, and you can watch that one, and I will catch you guys on the next one.